Thank you, Mr. Chair. Where to start or where to continue? What's frustrating for me is we do have Canadians that are out there that are struggling. There's no two ways about it. Absolutely. Whether it is dental care or whether it is affordable prescriptions and medications, I think we need to do better. The challenge that I have is that this government puts forth a piece of legislation that says that it's universal dental care, which it isn't. Now they're coming out with a piece of legislation that is they're billing as it's universal pharmacare, which it isn't. So Canadians are being lied to. This is a four-page document that has serious ramifications nationally. There's no definition for single payer or first dollar. So do we even know what this bill or pamphlet is? The minister could not answer simple questions such as how many Canadians are without doctors, could not answer the question as to what's going to happen with the 90% of, is it 90% of Canadians that do have a benefit plan that for medications, and at least 85%. What's going to happen with those plans? Who's going to pay for those plans? I know that I met personally with the Canadian Life and Health Insurance Association. They raised serious questions, and they also raised the fact that nobody's talking to them. Nobody's talking to the insurers as to what they're going to do. What about organizations and companies that have chambers of commerce, that have plans for their memberships and for their employees? What are these companies and these groups to do? As far as I can tell, that none of this has been worked out. But I guess as it is with this government, it's just like the checks in the mail. Wait and see. We'll figure it out. Just get it to committee and you'll work on it, and amendments will be passed and we'll make it better. Well, it never happens. Another bit of troubling information was that the minister admitted that none of the provinces have asked for this. None of them. Was Quebec? Were they even, our Bloc colleague, was Quebec even consulted? We heard that from witnesses that, as I mentioned, that they expressed deep concern that Canadians would lose their current private plans. We have a lengthy and complicated drug approval process, which adds to the issues of the cost of our drugs and prescriptions in our country. Wouldn't it be better that our government and the coalition and all of us at this table working to find a way to make drugs more affordable to all Canadians, rather than a Band-Aid solution that looks at, and it's again, you're calling it a national pharmacare program, and you're dealing with it's really two medications, or two types of medications. We have a national what's being billed as a public pharmacare plan or a national pharmacare plan, and is it going to? They always talk about, well, wait and see what this is going to be. It's going to look like. And you have millions and millions of Canadians that 85% that have a plan already in place. What's it going to look like for them? What's it going to look like for those that don't have a plan? All we've done at this point is created false hope. As Doc Ellis has mentioned, you've got Canadians that are going, constituents that are going into pharmacies now believing that they have a pharmacare plan. We do not have a pharmacare plan. Just like we don't have a dental plan. My point is this, is that, you know, I think if you look at the CPC amendments that have been put forth, they're reasonable amendments. They're nonpartisan for the most part, for a change, I guess, and we've just taken a common sense approach to this. I started off, I raised my hand at the earliest part of Doc Ellis's intervention, because we have three physicians in this committee whom I respect. You know, for what they do or what they did and the sacrifices that they make within our communities, the people that they serve. You know, I've been on this committee now for over a year, and some of the best testimony, I think I've said this, I'm on record as saying this, is we could close the doors and just listen to the experiences that our three colleagues have had, because I believe that we'd probably get more common sense out of them than we do out of the front benches of the government. It's deeply frustrating for me when we. It's going to be a long 5 hours, is all I got to say. It's if this is the way. I mean, if we, it's already been an hour and a bit. If we're only on one clause, and further to that, Mr. Nakfi, to publicly tell another colleague to go amuse himself or pleasure himself or whatever it was, the words that you used in private is not very parliamentary. You know, you can look at me when I'm talking to you, and I think you owe our colleague an apology, because I think that was very unparliamentary. If I was chair, I would have made you apologize. With that, I'll end.